Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Jerry Forehand. I'm sitting in for Winston, and he's on, I don't know if it's vacation or what, but he needed a break. So Winston, if you're watching, I hope you're enjoying yourself. I want to give the weather this morning. The compliments of Drew Pollard, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Today is going to be partly cloudy, west wind at 15 miles an hour, 40%, and some people say 60% chance of rain. So we're looking to get wet at least half a day somewheres. Today's high is going to be 88 with our low of 75. Water temp at the pier is still holding around 82, which probably going to hold there for a long time and not fluctuate a whole lot, but it's time to fish. And of course, that's what that water temp is giving us the idea of. Our river readings brought to you by Mountain Dew. That's everybody's favorite drink. If it's not, you ought to try it. And you can get it in a diet drink also, and I can't tell any difference. Apalachicola, Bluntstown, around 5 feet, dropping slightly, gonna be perfect for this weekend's fishing, I can tell you. You just find you a place that the water's clear enough, and you're gonna catch some fish on the Apalachicola system, whether it's the Brothers River or on the river itself. Choctawhatchee is gonna be 5.5 foot also, and anytime it's under 6 foot and kind of holding steady, slight drop, you know you're going to catch some fish at the Choctawhatchee. I live on the east side of Panama City, and I typically fish Apalachicola system, whether it be in the main river, which I love to fish main river, or a tributary off of it. Those tributaries are going to have some bluegill in them that are hungry, and it's a good possibility you'll find some mayflies. So I'd say take a fly rod for sure, even if you're bass fishing or cricket fishing. You just might look up and find a good willow fly hatch or mayfly hatch and enjoy that. Tides today are brought by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home. Good friends, and the highs today 8 a.m. and the low is 5:46 p.m. It's kind of swung. It's been after midnight, but it swung to a low today of 5:46 p.m. We'll go to a break. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Jerry, friend of Winston's, sitting in for him again. One of the things I wanted to share with you is something that I enjoy doing on the outdoors, and it's something that my wife really enjoys too. I keep her out a little bit too late some nights, and she probably wishes I'd go home earlier, but we have really enjoyed catching the blue crabs this year, and pretty much every year, out in the bay system right here in Panama City. Of course, there's some stretches got more crabs in it than others, but you do enough looking, you'll find some crabs. I've mostly been catching them at night. That's my favorite time to go. I prefer the low tide or approaching low tide. Your crabs are up in shallow water, they're feeding, they're easier to catch. That's the easiest way to put it. And so I even went last night. My wife said, can we go tonight, which was last night. Well, she didn't end up going. I took David Conrad with me, but she typically goes and I find them and she catches them, and she does a good job. So guys, take your wife out doing something like that. She'll enjoy it if she's an outdoors person like my wife. No hunting, but plenty of fishing, etc. But I'm going to show you some pictures, and let's see. All right, there's the first picture I got right there. You can see I've got a light out front, LED light, you got to be able to see them. You can see them in shallow water because you can actually see the bottom yourself on the screen. We pole around, motors up, and it's like I'm floundering, but people ask me, do you see flounder? No, I'm in shallow water and I stay on the grass. But it's low tide, and we're looking for that magic blue crab to put in a pot. We'll go to the next picture. Let's see. There you go. Well, that's part of the evidence right there, you see. And I tell you, they are some really fine crabs. If you haven't been out there and looked for them, you can catch them in the daytime, I'm sure too. But I'm a nighttime person when it comes to catching crabs. Just find you some smooth water, and that's the main ingredient when you've got a light on is smooth water. Let's go to the next one. All right, there's my bride of 51 years. You can see she's my main catcher right there. And fact is, what we caught the other day, we ended up putting up 5 cups of meat, plus we ate more than we should have, steamed and fried. And that's our favorite. If I find one that's soft shell or close to it, that one gets reserved for frying. The rest of them, we steam and just use the crab dressing on them, and I should say a crab dip that we get in a bottle. And so it really turns out to be enjoyable. And I'll go to the next picture. There's the proof that we did catch them. There was a lot of females out there that had eggs, but we, of course, turned those loose. And that gives the crab the population that it needs. And there seems to be a pretty good population out there. I don't see anybody crabbing out there. So guys, if you love crabs and got a boat you can flounder out of, go crabbing when you can't kill a flounder. There you can see I've already steamed them. I steam them about 15 minutes at the most, and I put a 1 inch of water in that pan. So with all the ingredients that I put with it, those are delicious. Oh, there's one. All right, here I am cleaning them. I've got a video, we can't hear it, but you can see I take it apart right there in my house after I've steamed it. Pull the flap off the back, both male and female, of course, got flap. Take the dead fingers off. That's what we call them as kids anyway. And I had a sister that when she fed her kids crabs, she fed them dead fingers and everything, just about it. And they're still alive, so it won't kill you if you eat the lungs off of them. I think that's what that is anyway. But we prepare them. That's for the table right there. I just never have liked them unwashed. So you can see that's our number one way of eating them, of course, is steamed. Then we can make crab cakes with the meat that we pick out. And it's a job picking them out, but we love crab cakes enough. And my wife's she crab soup is as good as anybody's. And of course that you need about a cup of crab meat for she crab soup. And so that's the enjoyable thing. We'll go to break. Welcome back. Got an old magazine, 1963, June. I want to talk about. It's a pretty important date really for Bay County. That was the opening day of fishing at Deer Point Lake. And being I'm a native here, my dad and I went fishing on that day, opening day. I've got some really fantastic statistics on that lake. If you don't know anything about it, that's where we get our freshwater drinking water for the county. I mean, and it's piped to the beach. Where isn't it piped? It's piped to Mexico Beach. We produce over 500 million gallons of water a day because of the fact that we dammed it up and the like. So But I want to talk to you about the fishing in it. So let's go to the next picture. And you can see opening at Deer Point Lake. I've got a copy in front of me, which I'll look at a little bit. And it says Florida's newest fabulous fishing spot yielded an estimated opening day catch of nearly 5 tons of fish, freshwater fish. There were 2,200 people fishing at that opening day. 18,700 fish were weighed by the Game and Freshwater Fish Commission. I'm getting this from an article that's in that book, and I'm not sure who the author is, but he's mentioned, oh, Jim Floyd is who I'm getting all of this from. Let's see, started planting it in '56. They took 6 years to put the dam in and everything. In fact, I even know people that had properties that they had to sell in order to do that, but it turned out real nice. You can see up in the upper left, you can see all the boats. I'm sure they're on a shellcracker bed because we were on a shellcracker bed. And so that made it real simple right there to find them. If you were late, just look for the boats. The same way it is for Spanish mackerel fishing today. On the top right, you can see the author may have not have known the difference between a shellcracker and a crappie, because he called those two really nice shellcrackers crappies. But you can see there in the middle photo, you can see where the Game and Fish Commission are weighing the fish. The guy on the left got a stringer full, and the boats bottom right, they were thick in there. So it was pretty neat to be there open today. I was 14 years old, and of course we just had an old wooden boat too with a probably 10-horse motor. It was an experience that I'll never forget. The fact that I was there on opening day. I'll cherish that moment. What didn't mean much then, it was just a place to fish. But now, as I can look back, I can see that it was a really important day, not just because of the fishing, but because of the water that we now enjoy. Because everybody before that was on wells, and you either had stinky water or egg-smelling water or sulfur water. Now we have really good water, and I thank you for the commission to have enough forethought to do that for the growth of the community. All right, we'll go to another break. Welcome back. As you can see, I've changed shirts. Went yesterday and gave blood, and of course they gave me a nice shirt to wear. So it says All-American Hero Blood Donor. Hey, you can be one too. Look for the big red van and give blood, and you're a hero to somebody. I've still got another article out of the magazine that you just had seen, and some of these articles are very prophetic, and this one is called Police Themselves. And what that's talking about, Ernest Swift had written it in '63, talks about our Second Amendment, in essence, about our ability to own and bear weapons for hunting, for protection, not only for protecting ourselves, but for protecting our neighbors if they maybe don't have guns. But it's a good article, and I wanted to just highlight some points. It being written in the '60s, a lot of it has come to fruition, and so I want to just read a little bit of it to you. It's just easier than me trying to quote it. Gun-toting gangsters and the owners of sporting firearms are rapidly being thrown into the same pot. Isn't that true today? If you own a gun, you're categorized as a gangster almost. You're just trying to get out there and hurt somebody, which we know is not true. Each year, more legislation to restrict the possession of firearms finds its way into the bill factories of Congress and the state legislatures. And we all hate these crimes against children, against individuals, against the grocery store people that were killed. We hate that. As a gun owner, I despise that and wished I could have been there to have helped taking care of business. But it says the FBI back then was looking to maybe start registering the firearms. Well, we know firearms are now registered. Any new gun is a registered gun. The contention of registering, of course, is it reduces robbery, murder, and general lawlessness. The only thing is, the guns that the outlaws use, the gangsters, they're unregistered anyway. They've stolen them from somebody. A lot of times they're just a free market on the street. It says on the other side there are several million sportsmen who go afield each fall and are equally determined that their right to possess arms is a constitutional guarantee and should not be abridged. Now that's us, the people that own firearms. There's lots of millions now. Of course, our main people that the NRA, National Rifle Association, are the ones that stand up for us mostly, and I recommend that you help fund them because they're the ones that are our Second Amendment advocates. The NRA has led the fight for sportsmen and rifle teams to own arms without being suspected of wrongdoing. Just because you own a firearm don't mean you're trying to do something bad. The shooters, there's thousands of women that like to shoot competition. That's a big business. There's lots of people employed over that situation. But here's our problem. There are millions of citizens with no interest in hunting or shooting as a form of recreation. Some are indifferent, others passionately opposed to guns because of some incident, factual or not, that developed a built-in repugnance to firearms. I always said I want to be available if need be, and if hand-to-hand combat won't do it if the other guy's got a weapon. Keeping restrictive gun laws off the statute books will rapidly become a near guard action if interested groups do not bestir themselves and develop a better public understanding. We have to be the leaders of helping the communities know that we're there for a purpose. Guns are there for a purpose. It's for protection. If we hadn't had guns in the Revolutionary War, we'd all be speaking British, but or something else. But the armed militia was the important thing to keep us safe and free. So a few more little quotes I'd like to put. It says there's a greater percentage of men and boys in the woods today who are maybe ignorant of gun safety than 50 years ago. Now, this is 50 years ago, this article. So we know that now there's been instituted teachings, mandatory gun safety training, which is wonderful. My grandson has not gone through it yet. No, I believe maybe he has. He lives in Melbourne. Good morning, Aiden. And if he hasn't gone through that, his dad, Brian, you need to get him through that gun safety. I know y'all love to shoot, and so he's one of the guys that in the last 3 years has bought lots of, I'd say half a dozen pistols, etc., maybe rifles. I've given him some guns. I felt like he needed weaponry, and he enjoys shooting now. So does my whole family. One of the greater responsibilities should be required of parents. It regulates such nature of being a person that does wrong in the woods, maybe kills out of season, etc. One of the things that he proposed was that if your kids get caught breaking the law, they lose their license, and you lose yours. So that means it takes more parental guidance. It says, one of the things I like is the father image has a powerful influence on youth. When gun safety programs are instituted, which we have, it just makes a difference with kids in the woods. They're a lot more respective of the weapon that they have in their hands versus thinking it's still a toy. One of the things I like on the bottom, it says, hunting may not survive as we have indulged in it if stronger measures are not taken, and that's true. We have tightened up a lot of our laws concerning game and where you can hunt, where you can shoot, and that has helped us in our what the public thinks of us. So we have to be diligent that we keep a good reputation. Listen, I want to thank Winston for letting me come and be a guest host. Hope I haven't bored you too much, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Winston, and do something good for somebody today and tell them that they are loved.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.